Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to my channel and welcome if you're new. I'm Nayanika and I make book related videos, and today's video is, let me just say that I am super excited for it because I'm finally going to film my birthday book haul, and I got a ton of books and I'm so very happy and delightful that I could get all of them. And yeah, without further ado, we're gonna dive right in. But before we actually dive right in, I want to tell you that many of these books are ones that I bought for myself. Some were a few swaps I made with a few of my Bookstagram friends. A couple of them were gifts as well. Then there are a few ebooks as well that I got as gifts from my amazing friends. Then there are also actually some, how do I describe this? There are some actually ARCs that I received, ARCs and review copies as well, that I received from publishers, from audiobook companies, etc. But since I got them, nearing like around that time, my birthday time, I'm just going to consider all of these books as my birthday haul because I got them on my birthday, like give or take a few days. But yeah, so I'll definitely be sharing with you all where I got all of these books. But yeah, without further ado, we're finally getting right into the video. And if you like my videos, don't forget to click on the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Click on the bell icon as well so that you will be notified every time a new video goes up. And yeah, enjoy the video. Alright, so the first 5 books that I'll be sharing are ones that I bought from Bookshare. So Bookshare this is not sponsored, by the way. I genuinely love Bookshare. I have used their services for quite a long time now, and the thing is, you can really, I'm a literature student basically, so I read a lot of classics. I also collect a lot of classics, and classics are very costly if you really want to buy the costly editions. So the thing is, on Bookshare you can get second-hand books, and if you're okay with using second-hand books, I think you should just really use Bookshare because it's very much sustainable than buying books from, say, Amazon and websites like that. So yeah, and they are very cheap obviously because they're second-hand. Alright, so the first 3 books that I got are from Charlotte Bronte, and the first one is The Professor, then we have Villette, and lastly we have Shirley. So let me tell you just a bit about all of these because I haven't read, I don't know much about all of these, but I really want to collect all the works of the Brontes, and that is why I have started to buy all of these books. So basically, The Professor is like a sort of coming of age in a way, because we follow this guy who is working as a teacher in a boarding school, I think, girls' school, and he is caught between his love and admiration for the headmistress and another pupil. So let's see what happens. And then we have Shirley, right? Yeah. So this is Shirley, and it's basically set during the years of the Napoleonic Wars, and basically it follows 2 heroines and their love for 2 men, and it's set during this time when there is a lot of economic, social and political disruption is going on, is what I meant to say, and the treatment of women especially is one that is taken into huge consideration here. This is also sort of autobiographical, if I'm not wrong. I'm not sure, but in its essence, it is also another coming of age. Then lastly, I am going to talk about Villette, and I don't know much about this, and I only know that it is deeply autobiographical, just like Jane Eyre and The Professor. And yeah, so it's a lot on introspection as well as the anguish of unrequited love. I think I'm really going to enjoy that, cry myself to sleep, because I mean, it sounds like that, but we'll see. And then the 2 books that I got are ones I have been really wanting to buy and collect for a long time now, because I really want to finally start with Russian classics. So the first one, when you think about Russian classics, at least for me, the first book that comes to mind when I think about Russian classics is Anna Karenina by Leo Tolstoy. Now this follows the story of Anna Karenina, and basically she falls in love with this another guy even though she's married, and the whole fiasco surrounding that. It also starts with the world famous first line: all happy families resemble one another, each unhappy family is unhappy in its own way. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to reading it. I've watched the movie and I especially love the Keira Knightley version, and yeah, it's so amazing. It's a thick boy, but I can do it. And then I also have War and Peace. It's the complete unabridged version, if I'm not wrong. Yup. It is a complete portrait of 19th century Russian life, fluctuating between times of turbulence and bloodshed and lavish bouts of opulence. It is swept along by Tolstoy's evocative and vibrant prose. I actually don't know much about it, but I've seen the trailers of this BBC series, I think it was, with this girl. I don't even know, I'm not sure about what her name is, but basically the girl who plays Cinderella. So basically I've seen that version, the trailer of that series, and I really like it, and I think I'm really going to enjoy it because I have seen so many people rave about this book after they have read it, and so I really want to get to it very soon. Then continuing with my Russian classics range, I also decided to pick up this book, The Master and Margarita by Mikhail Bulgakov. And as far as I know, this is a satire of Soviet life, and it was apparently written secretly during Stalin's rule, but then when it came out, it became an overnight sensation because it was amazing, and it weaves together magic as well as actual realism, and there is also a lot of carnivalesque influence, folk traditions and everything. Really excited to read it. I mean, you all already know that I've just decided to really delve into Russian literature finally. I haven't read any Russian works except like a couple of short stories, so I think it's definitely time I delve more into it. So really excited for this one. And then I also decided to get Dostoevsky's Crime and Punishment. This is alright. So this is one of the books people mention when people think about Russian literature. So this whole Russian literature haul wouldn't have been complete if I didn't get this. So I'm really happy that I got Crime and Punishment, The Master and Margarita, Anna Karenina, and War and Peace. Huge collection for my Russian literature. And if you've read these books, do tell me how you felt about them, because I'm quite interested and excited to read them. And I think I'll first start with Anna Karenina just because I know the story and I'm familiar with it, and so that it won't be very overwhelming for me basically. So that's the plan. Really excited to read these books. Alright, so then we'll move on to the gifts that I received. The next books that I'll be sharing with you all, they were all gifted to me by Dilip, and I'm really happy and grateful to him that he did. I was sharing all of these pictures on my Instagram story, like these are the books I really want to get into, but I really want to decrease that list because obviously it's going to be very costly. So you guys share your views, share your reviews with me so that I can decide on which books to finally buy to cut down the list basically. But Dilip was kind enough to gift me so many of these books. So yeah, without further ado, let me just share them with you. I've had a long day, obviously. My brain is frazzled, but what's new with that? So anyway, the first book is The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I'm sure you know by now because Astha is trash about this and she talks about it all the time. And it is also the BOTM Book of the Month for the Late Night Book Club, which is hosted by 3 of my favorite people, and I'll link everything down below. So yeah, I'm really excited to read it, and it's a book club pick of the month for September, so I'm really excited. Although it's like mid-September by now, I'm really excited to pick it up very soon. Then he also gave me Mexican Gothic by Silvia Moreno Garcia, which I've already read and reviewed, and I really enjoyed it. It's a Gothic tale, and I also did a books as outfits, but like slash cover recreations picture for that. I hope you check it out and tell me how it is. And it's really interesting. It really gave me Rebecca vibes, and that is why after reading Mexican Gothic, I also picked up Rebecca, which is a part of read along I'm doing on Instagram as of the moment, and I'm sure you've seen all the posts and everything by now, by the time the video goes up. Then Dilip also gave me a duology, and I'm really excited to read it because I've been told that this romance is amazing. It's like an enemies to romance trope, and it's something I really enjoy, especially when it is done in the adult context, not just YA. So he got me The Serpent and Dove duology, which is book 1 is Serpent and Dove, and then book 2 is Blood and Honey. It follows this woman. She's a witch, but then I think her name is Lou, and basically she basically ends up getting married to a guy named Reed, but then he's a witch hunter. So you can imagine what sort of a relationship that is at the beginning, a witch and a witch hunter. But then obviously there is romance that unfolds between them, and it changes the whole equation. Really excited to read it. Then he also gave me The Guest List by Lucy Foley, and it's basically a lot like Agatha Christie's And Then There Were None. There are these people on an island. There's a wedding taking place, but one by one I think everyone dies, and the question is who killed whom. I'm not sure, but really excited to read it as well, especially because I already have an audiobook of it. I'll tell you more about that in a minute, so keep watching. And then Dilip also got me Gideon the Ninth and Herod the Ninth by Tasman Muir, and as far as I know, this is a lesbian necromancer adventure stories, and I'm really excited. I'm here for it. I've seen Gayatri rave a lot about it, so I've always said that, oh, add it to my wish list, add it to my TBR, but I haven't been able to buy it. But then Dilip came through and he gifted me both of these amazing books, and I'm really happy, really excited. I actually don't know much about this duology, so do tell me what you think about it, and if you've read it, and if you liked it or disliked it, all of that. Then lastly, Dilip also gifted me The 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle by Stuart Turton. As far as I know, basically this girl keeps on dying every day, and the other person, he keeps on waking up as a different person every day, so that he has to discover who kills her, Evelyn Hardcastle, every time. So yeah, really excited to read. I don't know much about it, but it really seems really very interesting, and yeah, looking forward to that. So the next books that I'll be sharing with you all are actually audiobooks. They are actually advanced listening copies, ALCs. Listening or listeners? I don't know. So anyway, I get these from Libro.fm, which is an amazing service. You can definitely subscribe to it. This is again not sponsored. I am working with them as a part of the ALC program, which is basically like a bloggers program. Bloggers get access to some free audiobooks every month, and we read them and we review them. They're really amazing. They're always really really actually good books. They're really good books, and I hope you all check it out and support them. I'll just mention the names because these are really popular, and I'm sure you've already heard of them. So firstly, I got Grown-Ups or Adults. They're known by the either names in different places. So Grown-Ups or Adults by Emma Jane Unsworth. And then I also got A History of My Brief Body by Billy Ray Belcourt, which I read as a part of the Diverse Reads Readathon, which was hosted by Kajri, and I really liked it. It's an own voices LGBTQ novel, memoir, autobiography, as well as an indigenous own voices, so it's really good. And then I also got The Death of Vivek Oji by Akweki Imezi. Really excited to read it because Mridula really loved it, and I really loved her review. I'll link everything down below. Keep watching. And then I also got Raybearer by Jordan Ifueko. This is fantasy, and it's time I picked up a fantasy because I haven't read fantasy in quite some time. So yeah, amazing choice by me as usual. Okay, and then I also got Herod the Ninth by Tasman Muir, an audiobook, and I'm so glad because I got it, and then Dilip gifted me the ebook, so it's really great. I can listen to it and then I can also read it. Amazing. I'm gonna have a wonderful time. Then I also got Anxious People by Frederick Backman as the audiobook. I haven't read any Frederick Backman books till now, so I think this is going to be a great one. I also know it's not that long a novel, so it must be good. I mean, it's going to be good for me, especially since it's my first book by this author. Whenever I read my first work by one author, the first time I'm reading one author, I really like it to be short, and especially in terms of audiobooks, I don't really like really long books. There are some books which are 20 hours plus long. I'm really not a fan of those. I can't do those. So yeah, Anxious People. And then When No One Is Watching by Elisa Cola. This, as far as I know, is mystery, crime, thriller, something like that. And I think this is the perfect one to watch as the weather turns cooler and we move towards autumn. Then I also got Sky Hunter by Mary Lou, another sci-fi fantasy, my first Mary Lou novel. And then the book which actually came out today, Christopher Paolini's To Sleep in a Sea of Stars. You've heard about it. I mean, if you haven't heard about it, you've heard about it. And lastly, I also got Transcendent Kingdom by Yagayasi, also going to be my first Yagayasi. I haven't read Homegoing. Homegoing or Homecoming was it? I'm confused, but either of that. And I'm really excited to read all of these books, to listen to all of these books, and these are going to be amazing. I just know it because I've heard these hyped so much that I think by this point I'm really going to enjoy it. I'm sure of it. We should make a drinking game out of this. How many times I say, every time I say I'm really looking forward to this, take a shot. Alright, so let's talk about a few ebooks next. I'm sorry if you can see a glare. My laptop is actually here and I'm going to tell you about all the new ebooks that I bought for myself. And if you really want to buy classics, but you may be short on money, then I would really recommend you to check out Amazon Classics. These are the classic books, ebooks, but they're always free. And these 8 books that I got, they were only for $161. So 8 books for $161. These are all ebooks that I bought on Amazon and really excited to read them. So the first one that I got is Faust Part 1 by Goethe. Well, I am assuming that it is a lot about Dr. Faustus, who makes this bargain with the devil that he basically sells his soul to the devil for eternal knowledge and everything like that. And I've actually read Christopher Marlowe's, yeah, it's here. So I have read Christopher Marlowe's Dr. Faustus and I really love it. This remains one of my favorite dramas ever. And so I'm assuming it's Faust is also going to be very similar. So I'm really excited to read that. Then I also got Tales of the Jazz Age by F. Scott Fitzgerald. Now, from Fitzgerald, I have only read The Great Gatsby. Needless to say, I really love it. I mean, there are many people who hate it, and I guess I can understand because of the seemingly frivolous and superficial nature of the characters. But however, I really love it. I really love The Great Gatsby, and so I really want to read this collection of jazz stories that were written by F. Scott Fitzgerald. So I think, I'm not even sure how much this cost me individually because I have written down only the collective cost of all the 8 books, which is $161, like I just said. So yeah, really excited to read this collection. Then I also got The Moonstone by Wilkie Collins. I don't know anything about it. I'm assuming it's a horror novel, if I'm not wrong. Horror or mystery, must be either of those two. It's by Wilkie Collins. I've heard a lot about Wilkie Collins, but haven't read any of Collins's work. So yeah, maybe this is the time I will start with one. Then moving on, I also got Edgar Allan Poe's complete collection of tales and poems. Needless to say, I've only read The Raven by Allan Poe, I think, and I really liked it. I think it's amazing. So it just really gives you the gothic vibe. It's really full of imagery and I really love the poem. So I decided that this, either the collection must have been cheap or it must have been free on Amazon. So I decided to buy it for myself and I'm really looking forward to reading it. Then I also got A Vindication on the Rights of Women by Mary Wollstonecraft. I was a gender studies student back then. My birthday actually came before my finals, right? So I was still in that mood, and that is why I decided to splurge on this book, because I have a paper on gender studies, and as such this book really relates to it. So I decided to buy it, and yeah, really looking forward to reading it and analyzing it and sharing with you all my thoughts about this seminal work, seminal text. Alright, so then I also got the complete poems of Sappho. Now basically I have read a lot of quotes, a line or two on Pinterest or on Instagram by Sappho, and I've always been intrigued because they were some beautiful lines, there's some amazing imagery, and it's so natural, it's so earthy, and this sapphic ideal is one that has apparently emerged from Sappho's poems. So I'm really excited to, I'm actually reading it, I'm just a few pages in admittedly, so I'm really enjoying it so far, but yeah, looking forward to actually delving into it, reading more and more of her poems, and I'll tell you all about it, because this is going to be a long read, because apparently, I mean, this is the complete collection after all. So yeah, looking forward to that. Moving on, I also got Marcus Aurelius's Meditations. I'm really excited to see, to read them basically. I have seen so many people, so many of my favorite Instagrammers, Bookstagrammers share, you know, various tidbits over time. So it really seems like really deep meditations, and although these were from, you know, ages ago, they are so very relatable today. That is why they connected with me, you know, those tidbits that they were shared, that were shared by my favorite Bookstagrammers. That is why they connected with me even today, so many years down the line. Anyway, really excited to read it. I haven't started it, obviously. Yeah. Then my next buy on Amazon ebook was The Phantom of the Opera, and well, I've watched the movie with Gerald Butler, I think his name was, and I really liked it. It's amazing. I think it also gives a lot of gothic vibes and a bit of dark academia vibes, because she is learning, although it's not actually a school or anything like that. I really enjoyed it, and there is a secret place and everything. You should definitely read it. It's also a musical. The one I watched is a musical, and I really liked it. So yeah, I think it's only just that I also pick up this book. Yeah, looking forward to that. Then I got 3 more books which I was really looking forward to. Yes, they were a bit costly, but you know what, I mean, the ebooks were definitely less costly than the paperbacks. You'll get it when I mention the books to you all. So the first book that I got was Secret History by Donna Tartt. Now I already have bought I think I got it on credit actually on Audible, the audiobook on Audible, and I just started it, but you know, I wanted to have the book with me because I was enjoying it so much. And by the way, Donna Tartt is an amazing narrator. Usually I listen to audiobooks at like a maximum of 2x the speed, but with Donna Tartt's voice, it's something that you savor, you know, you don't rush with her. So I listened to the audiobook on like just 1 times, and yeah, really am enjoying it. And yeah, I'm really happy that I actually got the book, so that, you know, I can listen to it as well as read it. However, I would definitely have liked a hard copy, like an actual physical book that I could touch, but I don't know why the Secret History is not available on Amazon. Like, at least for my location it's not, and what's up with that? The next book that I got was My Dog Vanessa by Kate Elizabeth Russell, and yeah, it's a very intense read. It's a lot about how do I say it, it's got trigger warning though, and it's a lot about mental manipulation in a way, because there's this teacher, he manipulates his student into having sex with him, and you know, it's been like many years past that. She is still in contact with the teacher, but she still never thinks that he actually forced himself on her or that he groomed her, you know. So it's a very intense read. If you're not ready to read, I mean, definitely go and read the whole synopsis, and if you're not ready, it's very triggering for many people, because the relationship is obviously very toxic. So yeah, trigger warning for that. Then the last book I got on Amazon Kindle was The Lonely City by Olivia Liang, and basically, you know, even though I live with my parents, I think it is very important to know that you can depend on yourself when the need comes. I mean, there is surely going to be one day when I'm not going to be living with my parents, I'll be living alone, and you know, I think it's something that every one of us will have to go through, and I've heard great reviews of it. And also to prepare myself for that day whenever that comes, living alone, and like the title itself, The Lonely City, you'll be in a city, there'll be tons of people there, but you won't know anyone, so you'll be essentially lonely. So a really creative take on the whole ideal, and I'm really excited to read it and see how it goes, and I'll definitely inform you about it very soon. If you've read any of these books, don't forget to tell me how you felt, because I'm really actually hoping to analyze these books, and then if you tell me like you hated the book and I loved it, I would like to cross and make cross analysis and see where the differences are and everything like that. So alright, so the next book I got is written in my mother tongue, which is Assamese, and it is Mariam Austin Othoba Hiraburu by Arupa Potongia Kolita. And let me just show you a glimpse of the script. So yeah, it's a collection of short stories, and you know what, I'm going to show you the translated version of this. The translated version is The Loneliness of Hiraburu, and this has recently been published by McLean India, and I was so glad when they sent me this review copy. I read this while simultaneously also reading this, and it was an amazing experience for like non-Assamese readers. Please read this, and for people who can read in Assamese, please read this this one also, but start with this one. Then I got a few books from Chapter One bookstores because there was a sale going on. And so the first book that I got is a modern classic, A House for Mr. Bishwas by B.S. Naipaul, and it follows the struggles of Mr. Bishwas as he tries to have his own house. And I think this is really relatable in modern times, when every millennial tries to have a house, but then economically it's difficult, and geographically even in terms of space, there's so less space, there's so less land today, so it's become more difficult. So really excited to read it. And then another book that I got from Chapter One bookstores is A Song of Wraiths and Ruin by Roseanne A. Brown, and basically it follows the story of this guy. So his sister has been kidnapped, and to get his sister back, he has to enter this competition and basically kill the crown princess. But obviously star-crossed lovers, they fall in love, and the story goes from there. And it's a beautiful book. The cover itself is super pretty. I'm really excited to read it because I've heard so many good things about it, and I actually included it in my mid-year book freakout tag, where I mentioned that this is one of the books that I'm really looking forward to reading this year, and I finally bought it for my birthday. Really looking forward to it. I've been saying the same phrase again and again, but that is to say I've been really looking forward to reading all of these books and to actually film this video. So the next book that I got is the sequel, and I'm really happy for it, and this is actually a hard copy. So I don't generally buy hard copies, you guys know that, because they're so costly, and I don't really care about the format of the book, like whether it's a hard copy or a paperback, as long as I have the book, because that's what matters. But this book I really wanted to get in a hard copy because the first one is also with me, and it's a hard copy, and I really loved it. My brother also loved it, so we are really looking forward to reading the sequel as well. And it is Aurora Burning, a stunning cover. This is Cal, and if I didn't have any lipstick on, I would probably kiss him, but I don't want to stain my beautiful book cover. But basically it follows a group of misfits as they deal with different adventures in space. That's a very vague thing, because I think that synopsis is more for this book, but the synopsis for the first book, that is Aurora Rising, is quite different, because Aurora is a girl who has been sleeping for like 250 years, I think, and then she's suddenly discovered, and she's literally a girl out of time. So really excited for that, and yeah, I love that book, by the way, 5-star, and I'm really excited to read this book as well, because I've seen so many people rave about it. I mean, they think that this is a wonderful sequel to it, and so it doesn't suffer the second book syndromes as far as reviews go. So really looking forward to it. And I actually also got another book from Chapter One bookstores, one that I have been wishing to read for a long time now. However, they are importing the books from foreign country, and that's why they are still not here. So that was the reason why I was waiting for this long to film this video, because many of these books didn't come in for quite some time, and so I didn't want to take a risk, and so I decided to wait. But then I decided, I'll just show you a picture of the book. What's the big deal? So yeah, the book that I'm talking about here is On Earth We're Briefly Gorgeous by Ocean Vuong. Really excited to read it. As far as I know, this is written by a son to his mother, or a mother to his son, or a mother to his son. I'm not sure, but the recipient cannot read. So in that, it becomes a very powerful read in itself, and I've seen so many people love it. You know, they say that it's a very intense read, a very wonderful read, and one that will stay with me forever. So I'm really looking forward to it. So the next books that I'm going to be sharing with you all are sort of like gifts and swaps. So the first book that I want to tell you all about was actually an ebook which was gifted to me by Kashvi. I'm really very happy. She's one of my favorite bookstagrammers, by the way, and she gifted me Girl, Woman and Other. When she knew it was my birthday, she was like, you know, I'm gonna gift you a book, and I was like, I'm not gonna say no to that. So yeah, as you all know, Girl, Woman, Other follows the story of 12, I think 12 or 13, I think 12 women in the United Kingdom, and it also won the Booker along with Margaret Atwood's The Testaments. So really excited to read it. Thank you, Kashvi, once again. And then my friends were amazing, and they gave me some books. So first off, I have to share with you Nationalism by Rabindranath Tagore. This was gifted to me by Sukanya and Amy, and I'm really grateful. I was about to say grateful, thankful. Grateful and thankful to them for this book, because this was actually in my wish list. So I'm really happy that, you know, they got me one which I have been actually wanting to read for such a long time now. And you know, obviously this is a collection of lectures that were given by Tagore during the First World War, I think. Yeah, First World War and the Swadeshi movement in India. So I think this is going to be a really important read as well, especially in the present context. And then the next two books are actually swaps. So the first one is It by Stephen King. No, this was not a swap. This is actually a second-hand copy, because I got it from Katie from Books and Key. I'll link her channel and everything down below. And I'm really happy. She actually did not enjoy this book, unfortunately. So she was glad to sell it to me, and I'm really happy that I got it at such a discounted price, obviously. So I'm sure you know about it, Pennywise the Dancing Clown. I just wonder how. I mean, Bill Skarsgård is such a handsome man, and Pennywise is nah. But anyway, amazing book. Really excited to read it. And I'm not actually one who reads a lot of horror novels actually, so I'm really looking forward to see how my reaction will be to it. So that's that. And then lastly, I got this collection of stories, The Nine-Chambered Heart by Janice Perriott, and I also got it as a swap from Suhana, and I'll link her channel down below. She loves books, and I'm really excited to read it. This is a collection of nine short stories, and you know, I'm really like getting back to or diving into Northeast literature, so I'll be reading books from all the different states over the next few months, over my life, over the next parts of my life. So yeah, I think this is going to be, I'm actually going to show you a lot of books that were that are either set in the Northeast or written by Northeastern writers in this haul. I actually am really pledging to read more of Northeastern literature. So yeah, really happy that we swapped this book, and I'm really looking forward to reading it. Alright, then some more physical books. So the first one I'm going to share with you all is Boats on Land, which is another of Janice Perriott's books, and this is also a collection of stories, I think, isn't it? Yeah, this is also a collection of stories, and it is really set in the Northeast. Boats on Land offers a unique way of looking at India's Northeast against a larger historical canvas, the early days of the British Raj, the World Wars, and so on. Really excited to read it and make it a part of our Assam Bookstagram page, hopefully. So let's see, fingers crossed for that. And if you've read it, don't forget to tell me how you felt about it, and I look forward to your comments. Then guys, I did it. I bought the book that has made so many people cry, and well, it didn't make my mom cry though. So anyway, I'm talking about A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara, and this is basically following a group of friends, and this was actually shortlisted for the Man Booker. I didn't get it though, sad. But Basically it follows 4 classmates from a small Massachusetts college who moved to New York. So really excited to see, and yeah, looking forward to reading more about it. Moving on, I got another book which is set in the Northeast. It's set in Guwahati, my town. Very, very happy. And it is Undertale by Janavi Borwa. Actually, this is also our book of the month for September for the Assam Book Club, Assam Bookstore page, and I've read it. I'm only 2 chapters in because we're reading this according to a schedule and posting stories accordingly. So I'm just 2 chapters in, and I can really see that it it's going to be an amazing read. Okay, confession time. I actually read more than 2 chapters. I shouldn't have. I should have followed the schedule, but and it really gives you the vibe of Assam, and it's so amazing, especially at a time when I'm sitting inside my house whole day, and reading this is really giving me, it's letting me relive and see Assam again, see Guwahati again through the eyes of Loya, the protagonist. So yeah, if you haven't read it, please do read it. It's amazing. And then I got 2 more Northeastern books written by Northeastern writers. I got Blossoms in the Graveyard by Virendra Kumar Bhattacharya, and I've actually don't know much about it, but I have read the synopsis and it is really good, and it is actually a translated book. It was first written in my mother tongue, in Assamese, so I'm really excited to read it. And yeah, let's see how it goes. I've got great hopes for it, and it's also a beautiful cover. As you can see, I love the red. It actually goes well with my lipstick, so yeah. Then I got another book by another Northeastern writer, an Assamese writer, The House with 1,000 Stories by Arunika Kashyap, and this is basically set in Mayong, if I'm not wrong. And yeah, really happy to see it. There's going to be a lot of magic involved, there's going to be family involved, so as far as I know. So yeah, family, magic, Assam, what more could I want? Right, so oh my god, I got a ton of books. I realize that now, because there are quite a few that I still have to talk to you all about left. Moving on, let's talk about fantasy now. So I got Elizabeth Lim's sequel to Spin the Dawn, Unravel the Dusk. Actually really loved it. I read it in under 24 hours. Love it. It is set in Imperial China. It's fantasy. It's derived from the essence of Imperial China, and yeah, we follow this girl who has an amazing talent with her scissors, with her stitching skills, and then she goes and acts as if she's a guy. And yeah, politics, political intrigue, epic wars, epic fights, romance, sizzling romance, adventures, amazing. Now let me just show you the map, because it is stunning. I love it. So yeah, I read it in under 24 hours. Really loved it. And then another fantasy, an adult fantasy this time, and this is Shadow of Night, which is a sequel to A Discovery of Witches. If you have not heard of it, please read it. As far as I know, this is a trilogy, and if you're not a reader person, let me just say, if you're not a reader, watch this series because it's amazing. Teresa Palmer and Matthew Good. Love it. And in this book, this is a sequel. How do I say it? She's a witch, he's a vampire, star-crossed lovers, but it's not very frivolous, it's an adult fantasy, so of course there's a lot of serious themes and everything like that. It's amazing. The romance is amazing, and it's dark academia. Actually, both of them are professors, so it's really inspiring in that way. She is a hard-working girl, and he is obviously a well-renowned, brilliant scientist. So this is the sequel. There is time travel involved in it, so I'm not going to say more than that because spoilers, but really excited to read it. And it's thick, but then I really loved the book, so I don't mind that it's thick. I would want it to be only thicker. And then the next book I got is one that I've been saving up for a long time, because it was kind of costly when I got it, but then after I got it, I found out that it was on sale. just my bad luck. But anyway, Remnants of a Separation, beautiful book. So basically, by Anshul Malhotra. So basically it follows the remnants, the things that remain of a separation. So basically she interviews all of these people in India and in Pakistan who lived through the partition, and sometimes it's not the actual people but their ancestors, and she looks at partition through material history. So basically there are these so basically from this picture itself, the cover page, so there is this woman she brought with her to India. I think she came to India, so she brought with her to India these mang tika. So it is her memory, the remnants of the separation that she went through. There are also beautiful pictures. This is the one that I just flipped through of these mang tika, and the title is Stories from My Soil, the mang tika of Bag Malhotra. And then another one, pictures, the hockey field I left behind, the photos of Nazir Adhami. So really excited to read it. And alright guys, so the next few books that I got were all review copies, and you know, I've already shown them to you all in, you know, various vlogs that I've been doing, so I won't go over them. I'll just show you the books. So firstly I have Ahalya by Koral Dasgupta, sent to me from Pen Macmillan, India. And I actually also have The Loneliness of Hiraburu, which I just showed. This was also sent to me by Pen Macmillan, India. Then I have The Empire of Gold, which was sent to me by HarperCollins. I'm actually doing a reading vlog for it, and it's going really well. You should stay tuned for that because it might go up next week. I think it should be done by next week, editing and everything. So yeah, really enjoying this book. Then I'm going to show you all the books that Bloomsbury has sent me over time. I've shown these to you all soon, and yeah. So the first book I have to show you is Sway, Unravelling Unconscious Bias by Pragya Agarwal. It deals a lot with psychological analysis of people in today's time, you know, in terms of society and social lives, etc., and basically prejudices that people have. So that's that. Then I was also sent Death by Shakespeare by Catherine Harkup, and in this book Catherine Harkup, who is you know, a chemist, she basically goes over all the ways Shakespeare uses and methods he uses to kill off his characters, all the methods he uses. So going to be very interesting. Humankind, A Hopeful History by Rutger Bregman. To be honest, I still haven't read it because my brother just finished it yesterday and he returned it to me. And if you've enjoyed books like Sapiens, Homo Deus and everything like that by Yuval Noah Harari, I think you'll also enjoy this one. My brother says it's really good, and I'm really hoping to bring him in my next vlog so that, you know, he can share his views. He's very shy to be in front of the camera. He's telling me that he won't be present, but I'm going to blackmail him somehow so that he's going to be present, and he's going to share at least 2 lines on his relationship with this book. So, and then lastly I also got Circles and Squares by Caroline McLean, and it is basically a love story that shows you how the famous avant-garde movement started in Britain, right? In Britain, I think, yeah. And I'm really excited to read it. Yeah. I'm actually, a couple of my friends are also reading it, so I'm just waiting for a couple of them to finish with their other projects so that we can do a buddy read for it, and I'll definitely inform you more about it in a subsequent post or a video maybe. So let's see, it's very white, so so yeah. And lastly, the book that came yesterday, The Super Secret Book by TNN, and I was really happy when the author reached out to me, and it's a stunning cover. So basically we follow the protagonist Violet, who is secretly a superhero on her city, Diamond City, and we follow her stories basically as she goes on these wonderful adventures with 5 others. And so basically this fighting team is the super secrets team, and they have high-tech gadgets and amazing moves and combat skills, but they are forced to face the greatest fight they have ever seen. So really excited to do it and to read it, and I think I might do a books as outfits challenge for this one as well. So we'll see how it goes. So that's it for the books, guys. I have got only 2 more things which are like non-bookish that I got for my birthday. The first is this beautiful scrunchie which is created by my friend Nikita. We actually went to school together until class 10 in a convent, in a Catholic school, girls convent. So it was amazing, and she recently set up shop, and I like checked out her items, and I was like, can you please make me a custom scrunchie in a color I want, that is maroon. And she said yeah, sure. And I'm really happy that I got it. I will link her details down below, and it's amazing. The cloth is satin, right? I'm not sure, but it's very smooth, and it's really good for the hair, especially if your hair is delicate, or if you've done, you know, what do I say it, if you've done some certain treatments on your hair like I have. So I really need to be careful with my hair, with how I tie it especially. So this one is going to be amazing. It matches my lips today, so but anyway, really happy with how it came out. I have actually taken pictures with this, and I think you might have already seen the pictures by now, because I think the picture should be up by the time this video goes up, but I don't know. But yeah, really love how it came out. So thanks a lot to Nikita. I'll also link her details down below, so you can definitely check her out. This is not sponsored, by the way. I actually bought it from her because I wanted one like this, and she's my friend, so what better way than to support a fellow creator. I'll link her details down below so that you can order one for yourself, one or more, as much as you want, really. And then I got this beautiful candle, which is a Leo candle from the Alchemist shop, and I'm really happy with how it is. Actually I used it as soon as I got it, so this is a lot like candy, and I won't even say candy. To me, this smells like bubblegum, and I feel like biting onto something, because I love this smell. Unfortunately, I have really used it, and it's a bit on the lower side, but I'll share a few pictures so that you can see them, and you can see just how amazing it is. I got the Leo candle, but of course you can get a different candle, a different color, and different specifications based on your zodiac sign. So these came quite cheap as well, and you can see it was quite worth it for me. So I really love it, and the smell is really amazing, and I am so happy I got it. An amazing purchase, really. And that's it, guys. We are done with this massive haul. I am so happy and so grateful that you all support me so that I can afford to buy so many books, and I'm really grateful to you all for your support and constant push, so that I can do my best every day, and your support which has led me here, and that is the reason why I can buy so many books, where I get so many review copies, and I'm really grateful and thankful once again. Yeah, so that's it. That's the end of the video. Don't forget to click on the like button if you enjoyed watching it, and I'll see you soon. Please do subscribe and share my channel with others. This is the best thing that you can do to support a creator, that is by sharing the content and liking it and everything like that. So I'd be really grateful I'd be really grateful if you can do that, especially for this birthday haul. I'll see you soon. I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and I hope I intrigued you enough to check out some of these books. And if these books are in your TBR as well, don't be shy, don't forget to hit me up so that we can possibly do a buddy read. It will be amazing. I always love reading books along with a reading buddy, so it's an amazing time. And so that I can like, hey, this happened, this guy is bad, this guy is good, oh I love this guy, so that I can fangirl and even bitch about some of the characters. But that's me. Anyway, I hope you had a lovely time. I'll see you soon. Take care and bye.